Good morning, students. In the previous video, we have completed the sound of music. Chapter number 2 also it is divided into two parts. First part we have completed the sound of music. Now it is second part, the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. These two chapters are about the music. So before you read, do you know these people? What instruments do they play? So these are the name of the people here. It is written Pandit Hari Prasad, flute, and Ustad Vilayat Khan. He is playing sitar. Lalita and Nandani. They are playing. Violin. Zakir Hussain, he is playing tabla, and so many other people are also there. At the end we have Ustad Bismillah Khan. What he is playing? He is playing Shehnai. Think of the Shehnai, and the first thing you will probably imagine is a wedding or a similar occasion or function, because Shehnai is being played in these kind of functions. The next would probably be Ustad Bismillah Khan, because he was such a nice Shehnai player, the Shehnai maestro playing this instrument. So, whenever we think of Shehnai, we think of Ustad Bismillah Khan. So let us study about Ustad Bismillah Khan, that how he has become so much popular, what kind of childhood he had when he started playing this, and what is the history of Shehnai. So let's begin. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of music instrument called panji in the royal residence, for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. So you know Emperor Aurangzeb, it was a time of Emperor Aurangzeb. So in his court, in his royal residence, he has banned an instrument called panji because he did not like its sound. He banned it. So Panji became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. Panji, it became a generic name. Generic name means a name given to a class, a name given to a single type of instrument. So, all reeded noisemaker. Reeded means, it is written over here, wind instrument which have reeds like the flute and clarinet, etc. So, few had thought that it would one day be revived. When he had banned and he was so strict, very less number of people would think that it would be revived. It would come again one day. What? Those reeded instruments. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the panji. So one barber, he was a barber of a family of professional musician family's barber was there. He had the access to the royal palace. He used to go there. He decided that he must improve the tone quality of the panji. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the panji, so it was different, and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. So, a little bit difference he had made in that, and very melodious sound came from it. So, you can see in the picture the difference between a panji and a shehnai. He played the instrument before royalty. So, in front of royal people, he played this instrument, and everyone was impressed from its melodious voice. The instrument, so different from the panji, had to be given a new name. So, obviously, you can see the difference also, difference in the physical appearance and difference in the quality of the voice also. So, they thought that a new name should be given to it. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Shah's chambers and was played by a Nai, the instrument was named the Shehnai. You know, it's a story. They used to tell that it was how it got its name, because it was firstly played in the court of Shah, and it was played by a Nai. Then it got its name Shehnai. The sound of the Shehnai began to be considered auspicious. You know, so it this sound this sound is considered that it is going to bring good fortune, means fortunate sound, and for this reason it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. Still up to this time also it is being played in temples, and it is very important, without it, it is being thought that work is incomplete. So it is being played in weddings also, because it is considered as a fortunate sound. In the past, Shehnai was a part of Naubat, or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. So Shehnai was one of the Naubat. Naubat means 9 instruments that were found at royal court. Shehnai was considered one of them. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. So, Ustad Bismillah Khan took this instrument up to the classical level. So, this credit goes to him only. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Damrau in Bihar. So, when he was 5-year-old, he used to play games, local games, Gilli Danda near ancient estate in Damrau, that is in Bihar. He would regularly go to nearby Bihari Ji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita. So, Bhojpuri religious song, he used to go to that Bihari Ji temple to sing that, because of the prize he is getting, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaj. So regularly he used to go there, and at the end of Chaita he used to get a laddu that was 1.25 kg. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. This incident is 80-year-old, and the boy Ustad Bismillah Khan, he has come so far that he has got Bharat Ratna, the highest civilian award in India. Born on 21 March 1916, though it was his birth year, Bismillah belonged to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. So he was basically from Bihar, and his family was of musicians. His grandfather Rasool Baks Khan was the Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpur King's Court. He was quite renowned. His father Pagambar Baks and other paternal ancestor means ancestors of the father, were also great Shehnai players. So it was in his blood. The young boy took to music early in life because he was surrounded by so many musicians, so his interest also was in the music. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Benares, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. So here also, when he went to his maternal uncle's house, there also he was fascinated by his uncles who were practicing Shehnai. Soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Baks to the Vishnu temple of Benares, where Baks was employed to play the Shehnai. So then he accompanied his uncle over there. Ali Baks would play the Shehnai, and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. Bismillah Khan, at that time he was quite young. His uncle used to play Shehnai, and he used to sit for a long time without stopping. Slowly he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. Afterwards, he started getting proper lessons of playing Shehnai, and he used to practice throughout the day. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangala Maiya and the banks of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he could practice in solitude. So these are the places: the temple of Balaji, Mangala Maiya, and the banks of Ganga. So Ustad Bismillah Khan used to practice in solitary, used to practice his Shehnai all alone. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent rags that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. He got inspiration from the flowing waters of Ganga. The water inspired him, and he was able to put such difficult rags that were thought that they cannot be played in Shehnai. So he was able to put those rags in Shehnai. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. So now it's such a young age. 14 years is not such a high age. So he was quite young at that time. He accompanied his uncle to Allahabad Music Conference. One music conference was there. At the end of his recital, Ustad Fayaz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." You know, Ustad Fayaz Khan was so inspired, not only inspired, was surprised by seeing the caliber of that young boy. He patted him. With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. So with the opening of All India Radio, he played Shehnai there. He got a break. 1938 means he was a Shehnai player on radio. So up to here only we will study, revise the chapter thoroughly. If you find some difficult words, try to write them and try to find the meaning of them. Thank you students. Have a nice day.